NFL playoffs. NFC divisional round, Bucs, Lions, let's get into it. Now, when I'm breaking down matchups, I try to look for what I call hidden points. It's similar to hidden yards, which I did a full in-depth lesson on in the Discord community, along with 100 other betting lessons archived on various topics. Invite link to join is in my bio. What I'm looking for with hidden yards is situations mainly on defense where a team may have gotten lucky or bailed out and their numbers reflect a better performance than reality. For example, when you look at the Lions' last 4 games, just from a points per game allowed perspective, they've allowed 24, 20, 20, and 23 points. Those are pretty good numbers, but when you look a little closer to those 4 games, there's a lot of hidden points there. There were 8 different drives that resulted in first downs inside the Lions' 20-yard line, but only combined for a total of 6 points on those 8 drives. That's a lot of hidden points not reflected on the scoreboard. Lions were +7 in turnover differential during that span. Turnovers have a lot of randomness involved. Without those timely turnovers, what would the points per game look like? Which, my point in all this is, as bad as the Lions' defense is, I have them ranked 18th overall. It actually could be worse than the numbers show. They've had a lot of things go their way, and the logical question here is, can Baker Mayfield show up and take advantage of this Lions defense? Nick Mullins did. Plus, it's not like the Lions defense is a big step up from the Philly defense, as bad as it is. Based on ratings, both defenses are pretty similar. I like the Tampa Bay defense. Their overall ranking is probably worse than what they really are because they're finally fully healthy now for the first time all year. They definitely weren't fully healthy when they played the Lions earlier this season or when they played the Eagles earlier in the regular season. It's a different unit now, and their numbers aren't being completely realized. This Bucs defense under Todd Bowles should cause some issues for Jared Goff, who historically has struggled when facing pressure. The Bucs blitz at the 3rd highest rate in the league. Goff versus the blitz this year isn't as big of a drop-off as years past, but still a pretty big drop-off. Goff goes from 11th in QBR to 16th in QBR when blitzed. But the big advantage, in my opinion, is the Bucs' ability to defend the run with just their 4-man front. So much of the Lions' success on offense is heavily dependent on the run game, but defending the run is what the Bucs do best. I think this number is big for Detroit to be laying. The Lions are getting too much of a bump up after such a big win and all the excitement around the win at home over the Rams, but the Rams dominated that box score and outgained the Lions. They had 100 yards more of total offense, 7.7 yards per play to just 6 yards per play from the Lions. Teams typically don't win games when they're outgained by more than a full yard and a half per play. I think the more impressive win actually belongs to the Bucs versus the Eagles. Bucs outgained the Eagles and left points on the board. They didn't convert on their one and only trip inside the Eagles' 20. Their points all came from outside the red zone on explosive plays. I like the Bucs in this one. I bet them +7, -115. Bucs have played 9 road games this year and have covered the spread in 8 of them. The Bucs offense during the regular season ran the ball at the highest rate on early downs. They basically just went run, pass, punt, regardless of their opponent. But against the Eagles, they recognized their weakness defending the pass, and the Bucs finished 14% above pass rate expectations. So if the Bucs do the same in this game and take advantage of the Lions' soft pass defense, it becomes a situation where I think the Bucs hold advantages on both sides of the ball. So give me the better defense, getting points, and I know there's no such thing as a letdown spot in playoffs, but if there ever was one, it'd be the Lions in this game after such an emotional win where players and coaches were basically holding back tears. Also, a player prop I really like in this one is Baker Mayfield over passing yards. His prop number was at 252.5 earlier this week, and now it's as high as 260.5 at some books. I'm locked in at 256.5. Last few QBs to face Detroit have all gone over this number easily. Stafford had 367, Nick Mullins almost 400, Dak had 345, and then Nick Mullins again 411. Baker threw for 337 versus the Eagles, and it easily could have been closer to 400. Mike Evans having a couple drops, which normally doesn't happen. I think the Bucs go more pass heavy as well, and I like my props to be correlated to the spreads I make, or the spread bets I make. If the Bucs are going to be competitive and keep it close, Baker will need to have a day. That's all I got for this one. If you watch to the end, I really appreciate you. Until next time, good luck with your bets.